You used to trust your legs. They carried you through long walks, busy mornings, family trips, even danced a little back then. But now they don't feel the same. Maybe it's a quiet ache when you climb stairs or a sharp cramp that wakes you in the dark, like a jolt of pain pulling your calf tight as a knot. And when it happens, you grab the bed, you hold your breath and wait for it to pass, hoping it doesn't come back tomorrow night. But it always does, doesn't it? You've tried stretching, you've tried drinking more water, maybe even magnesium, but nothing really sticks. The truth is this isn't just aging, and it's not something you have to live with, because right now your body might be missing one simple thing, a vitamin 1 you probably haven't been told about. Not just any vitamin, but one that speaks directly to your muscles, telling them when to move, when to rest, when to stay calm, instead of cramping tight like wire. And here's the part, no one tells you over 70% of seniors have low levels of this vitamin. And the side effects aren't just cramps. They include weak legs, slow recovery, poor balance, and even falls. But when you restore it, your muscles start behaving differently, stronger, more stable, like they're finally listening again. So today I'm going to show you the three most powerful vitamins for seniors to stop leg cramps, rebuild strength, and move like someone 20 years younger. No prescription, no expensive therapy, just food and science, working with your body, not against it. And what you'll learn might change the way you walk, stand, and sleep starting tonight. You may not give much thought to vitamin B12, but if your legs feel weaker than they used to, or if cramps sneak up on you more often than before, this overlooked nutrient might be the missing link. As we age, our nerves and muscles don't always communicate the way they should. And that quiet disconnect often starts with a silent deficiency. You may not give much thought to vitamin B12, but if your legs feel weaker than they used to, or if cramps sneak up on you more often than before, this overlooked nutrient might be the missing link. As we age, our nerves and muscles don't always communicate the way they should. And that quiet disconnect often starts with a silent deficiency. Vitamin B12 plays a critical role in how your brain speaks to your body. Think of it like the insulation around an electrical wire. Without enough insulation, the signal weakens it, flickers, or it doesn't reach its destination at all for your muscles. That means slower response times, more tremors, more cramping, and eventually more falls. In fact, studies show that seniors with low B12 levels are twice as likely to experience leg weakness and imbalance compared to those with healthy levels. But here's the problem, B12 deficiency is sneaky. Many seniors are never told they have it because the early symptoms don't always show up on a routine exam. Maybe you felt tingling in your feet, numbness after sitting, or that strange heaviness in your legs during the day. These aren't just signs of aging, they're red flags. Now let's talk about why this happens as you get older. Your stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, and that acid is what helps you absorb B12 from food. So even if you're eating eggs, chicken, or fish, you might still be getting very little actual B12. It's like pouring gas into a car with a blocked fuel line. This is why so many seniors who seem to eat well still end up with symptoms of nerve damage. So how do you fix it? First, get your B12 levels checked, not just the standard blood test. Ask for an active B12 or methylmalonic acid test, which is far more accurate at detecting low cellular levels. Second, don't rely only on food sources. They're not enough once absorption starts to drop. Instead, look for a sublingual methylcobalamin supplement taken under the tongue. This delivery method bypasses the gut and goes straight into the bloodstream where it's needed. Most 1,000 micrograms per day is safe and often recommended for adults over 60, especially if you're dealing with any neurological symptoms. And here's what's truly amazing. A 2022 study from Norway followed seniors with B12 deficiency who took daily sublingual doses for just 3 months. The results? Participants showed a 45% improvement in leg strength and a 60% reduction in nerve-related cramps. One woman in the study who hadn't been able to walk more than a block was able to return to her daily walks around the park after just 10 weeks of consistent supplementation, no dramatic treatment, no side effects, just a small nutrient doing its job. So if your legs feel slow or your balance feels off, don't ignore it. Vitamin B12 might be the foundation your nerves are crying out for. And now let's move to the second powerhouse vitamin, the one most seniors have heard of, but still underestimate completely. We're talking about vitamin D3. Most people know it as the sunshine vitamin, but what they don't know is how deeply it affects every muscle in your body, especially your legs after 60. Your ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight drops dramatically, and that's when the cracks begin to show. You might feel a little less steady, climbing stairs, your legs may tire quicker, or you notice those deep aching cramps that hit out of nowhere, especially at night. What's happening beneath the surface isn't just aging, it's a breakdown in how your muscles receive and process. Calcium and vitamin D3 is the traffic director of that entire system. Here's how it works. Every time you move, your muscles contract using calcium. But for that calcium to get into the right place at the right time, your body needs enough vitamin D3. Without it, calcium starts to build up where it shouldn't. And that causes tightness, spasms, and painful contractions. But that's just the beginning. Vitamin D3 also binds to receptors inside your muscle cells, triggering a response that supports muscle repair, protein synthesis, and growth. And when D3 is low, that response weakens your muscles, begin to lose density, and recovery slows down. A large European study tracked seniors over 65 and found that those with low vitamin D3 levels were nearly 3 times more likely to suffer from leg weakness and more than twice as likely to fall. But here's the good news. Fixing it is surprisingly simple. Taking 2,000 to 4,000 international units of vitamin D3 daily can restore your levels within a few months, but timing and absorption matter. Vitamin D3 is fat soluble, which means you should always take it with a meal, preferably one that includes healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, or nuts. And while sunshine does help, the truth is a 70-year-old produces 75% less vitamin D3 from sun exposure than a 20-year-old. So don't rely on sunshine alone. Let me share the story of John, a 74-year-old former carpenter. He came in with recurring leg cramps, difficulty walking long distances, and a D3 level under 20 nanograms per milliliter. We started him on 3,000 units of vitamin D3 daily with his lunch within 6 weeks. The cramps that woke him every night had nearly vanished, and by month 3, he was back to working in his garden for hours at a time. No pain, no fear of falling. Sometimes the body doesn't need a full overhaul, it just needs the right tools. And now let's move to the final piece of the puzzle. The mineral that holds it all together and without which none of this works: magnesium. Now let's complete the picture with magnesium, the quiet hero behind every strong step you take. Most people don't think of magnesium when they think of muscle health, but this mineral plays one of the most important roles in keeping your legs strong and cramp-free. Here's something you might not know. Your muscles can't relax without magnesium. Every time your leg contracts, it's calcium that makes it tighten, but it's magnesium that tells it to let go. Without enough, your muscles stay in a partial state of tension. And over time, that constant low-level contraction causes fatigue, tightness, and those stabbing nighttime cramps. So many seniors dread, but magnesium goes even further. It helps your body create ATP, which is the basic energy molecule. Every muscle fiber needs to function. Without enough magnesium, you feel sluggish, your muscles take longer to recover, and even small tasks feel like heavy lifting. Now here's where it gets tricky. Modern diets are low in magnesium, but the problem isn't just food, it's absorption. As we age, our ability to absorb magnesium from food decreases, and many medications commonly taken by seniors like diuretics or acid blockers make that deficiency worse. So what happens when you bring your magnesium levels back to where they should be? A landmark study from Italy followed 180 adults over 60 who suffered from leg cramps and muscle fatigue. They were given 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily, and within 12 weeks they reported a 70% drop in cramp frequency and a 58% improvement in leg strength. But not all magnesium supplements are created equal. Oxide is the cheapest form, but it's poorly absorbed and often causes stomach upset. Instead, look for magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate. If you also struggle with constipation, take it in 2 divided doses, morning and evening, to maintain steady levels throughout the day. And here's something most people miss. Magnesium and vitamin D3 work together. D3 helps you absorb calcium, but magnesium makes sure that calcium goes to your bones and muscles, not your arteries. So if you take vitamin D but not enough magnesium, you're only doing half the job. A good rule of thumb for most seniors is 400 to 600 milligrams daily. And if you're still struggling with cramps, try a warm Epsom salt bath twice a week to boost absorption through your skin. Let me introduce Clara, a 76-year-old retired nurse who came to see me after years of dealing with restless legs and deep muscle cramps. She'd tried everything, stretching, hydration, even changing her shoes. But after checking her labs, her magnesium levels were borderline low. We started her on 200 milligrams of glycinate twice daily and added an evening bath routine with Epsom salts. Within 2 weeks. Her cramps were down to once a week, and within 2 months they were gone completely. She now walks every evening with her neighbor, something she hadn't done in over a year. Magnesium didn't just ease her pain, it gave her strength back and the confidence to move again. And Clara isn't alone, because what worked for her can work for you too. These nutrients aren't magic, but they are essential. And most importantly, they're within reach. You don't need expensive treatments or complicated routines. Just a better understanding of what your body truly needs after 60. And that's when it hit me. Clara wasn't just a success story. She was a beacon of possibility, because what worked for her can work for you too. 3 simple nutrients, vitamin B12, vitamin D3, and magnesium, might just turn your nights from painful to peaceful, your mornings from stiff to steady. And that's when it hit me. Clara wasn't just a success story. She was a beacon of possibility, because what worked for her can work for you too. 3 simple nutrients, vitamin B12, vitamin D3, and magnesium, might just turn your nights from painful to peaceful, your mornings from stiff to steady, and your legs from hesitant to confident. Now let's step back and reflect, with clearer eyes, with science and lived experience side by side. Vitamin B12. It's not just about red blood cells. It's about the gentle, precise signals your brain sends to your legs. Signals that help you rise from a chair, step onto a curb, keep your balance when no one's around to steady you. Research shows that up to 40% of adults over 60 have B12 levels low enough to slow or scramble that communication. You may not notice it at first, maybe just a hesitation before stepping off the porch, a numbness in your feet at night, that odd jelly leg feeling when you get up too quickly. And yet, your diet might look perfect. Eggs, fish, meat, all rich in B12. The missing piece? Absorption. As we age, our stomach acid, the agent that unlocks B12 from food, quietly declines. So you might be eating enough, but your body simply isn't receiving it. That's why testing matters, especially checking active B12 or methylmalonic acid, which reveal the real story inside your cells. And that's where sublingual methylcobalamin comes in. 1,000 micrograms daily under the tongue, combined with folate to support nerve healing. In one observational study, seniors taking sublingual B12 saw a 45% improvement in leg strength after just 12 weeks. One participant, a 70-year-old man who hadn't walked a block in years, was doing morning walks again within 10 weeks. Not because of a miracle drug, but because his nerves could finally hear again. Then there's vitamin D3, the misunderstood muscle modulator. We all hear about bones, but your muscles? They're just as dependent. A 2024 study from Beijing found that seniors supplementing D3 improved both upper and lower limb strength, more than those who just received exercise guidance. That's not anecdotal. That's peer-reviewed data. But not every study agrees. A large U.S. trial saw little effect on walking ability. So what do we make of that? Simple. D3 isn't a magic bullet, but if you're deficient, and many are, correcting that can tip the scales back in your favor. Think fewer cramps, steadier balance, easier recovery after a walk or stretch. The sweet spot? Get tested. Aim for serum levels of 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. Most older adults benefit from 2,000 to 4,000 IU of D3 daily, taken with a meal containing healthy fat for better absorption. Think avocado, olive oil, or even a spoonful of nut butter. Then comes magnesium, not just a mineral, but a command center for muscle relaxation. Magnesium is what tells your legs, it's okay now. Let go. After every contraction, every step, every stretch, magnesium helps push calcium back out of your cells so your muscles don't freeze, don't cramp, don't scream in the night. But here's the issue. Farming practices have depleted our food supply. Absorption declines with age. Medications like diuretics flush it out faster than we can replace it. And that's why supplementation works. In a major 2022 study in Europe, seniors who took magnesium citrate daily had reduced soreness, faster recovery, and less fatigue. Many slept better, walked steadier, reported more good days. For most, 300 to 400 milligrams daily is effective, split into morning and evening doses and taken 2 hours away from calcium. Choose glycinate if you have a sensitive stomach, citrate if you want mild laxative effects, and avoid taking it with antacids or high-dose calcium. Now picture this. Your nightly routine becomes the foundation of your comeback. An evening dose of sublingual B12, quietly reconnecting the lines between brain and muscle, a glass of fortified milk or a soft-boiled egg with dinner, boosting your D3 for overnight recovery, and a tablet of magnesium glycinate, calming your legs, quieting the twitch, and priming you for a stronger tomorrow. Stack that with 10 minutes of gentle movement in the morning, stretching, slow squats, or simply rising and sitting from a chair, slowly and with intention. These aren't heroic efforts, but their effects, nothing short of heroic, because over time, these small, deliberate steps create real change. No more bracing yourself for nighttime cramps, no more clinging to the handrail with every stair, no more second-guessing if your legs will keep up. Instead, confidence, stability, and a renewed sense of you. You see, you're not broken. You're just missing a few essential nutrients that once came easy, but now must be delivered with intention. Vitamin B12, vitamin D3, and magnesium, backed by data, grounded in biology, and accessible to you today. Test your levels, supplement wisely, stretch gently, hydrate well, and give yourself permission to feel strong again. Not 5 years from now, not someday, but starting this week. Because rebuilding strength isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming function, independence, and joy. In the simplest of ways. And if this message resonates, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a sibling, someone who needs to hear that their story isn't over. It's just beginning again. Thank you for being here. You're not alone. And your next step, it might be the strongest one yet.